Well, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I think we have yet another garbage 3 gen killer on our hands. I think the Singularity is a lot like the Skull Merchant. I think the way you're going to have to play this killer is you're going to have to go for 3 gens. And I think it's going to be really hard breaking a 3 gen lock by this killer. So it's going to be very similar to the Skull Merchant. The killer has a lot of problems, such as the EMP tools are a unlimited supply. So similar to Nemesis or Wesker, there's boxes scattered around the map that contain an item to help deal with the killer. But unlike Nemesis and Wesker, where it's a limited resource and you can run out, you can waste them and run out, with the Singularity, it's an unlimited, you have an unlimited supply. The chests produce the EMP tool all on their own, or if the survivor wants to, they can go over and make the chests produce the tools faster if they want to. And the tool has a really large radius, and it disables all of his biopods and removes any pods attached to any survivors in the area in a very large radius. And I was testing it out. Like the obvious thing with the Singularity is to do what you do with the Skull Merchant, which is you put the pods near gens to watch the gens for you. So you're going to put your pods near gens. The survivors are going to bring the EMP tool. They're going to use it and disable the pod, and it disables it for quite a while. I think I got about 70% of a gen done while it was disabled. I brought an EMP tool over, used it, disabled the pod, and did about 70% of a gen. Which prevents the teleport attack from being usable. But the camera still works, right? And you waste time. You waste time going and getting an EMP tool, and you bring it over and you use it, and what have you. And the killer can run you off the gen and everything. And so the pods are dealing with the pods near the gens are a lot like dealing with the drones near the gen from the Skull Merchant. It's a time waster. It wastes your time, and because the pods act like a camera, once and disabling the pods does not disable the camera. The Singularity can just put pods get a 3 gen, put pods around the gens, and even if they disable them, you can see where the survivors are. You can see how you can visually see how fast the gen is moving. So you can see how far along the gen is, whether it's regressing or whatever, or is anybody on the gen. And so, from what I've seen, it's going to be really hard, just like the Skull Merchant, to break the 3 gen. And so, I was thinking about, how do you fix this killer? Um, how do you make them just good, just outside of a 3 gen? Forget the 3 gen. How do I make this killer good? Just in a chase and around the map and moving around the map and whatnot. And I just don't know how you can improve this killer without making his 3 gen lock just ridiculous. I think his 3 gen lock is going to be crazy already. But if you want to improve this killer, make it good in chases and outside of 3 genning, then you're going to make the 3 gen situation just crazy. And I just think this is just another poorly designed killer, another bad garbage killer, and that makes 3 in a row. That's 3 in a row, in my opinion. The Knight, then the Skull Merchant, and now the Singularity. And I don't know. I think it's like I'm concerned about the future of Dead by Daylight with the route that we're on, the path that we're on. Um, Before this killer came out, people were already um, frustrated and or bored with the current situation in the game, and I think this killer is just going to make it worse. I think this may, if people see this and are turned off by it, this could potentially be the worst anniversary that Dead by Daylight has had. I could see the numbers being really abysmal potentially. If a lot of people see this, if this ends up, if my opinions prove to be correct, or I don't know if correct is the right word, the opinion of the community as a whole, then this is just very problematic. And it just think it reminds me too of how they have such a bad time with map design. And it seems like somewhere they've lost their way on the killers. I don't know what's happened. If it's new employees, the old employees aren't involved. Um, I just don't know what is going on at Behavior. Um, I see a lot of content creators really talking up this killer. I'm seeing, and then I'm like, man, I bet you don't say. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I bet you they're not going to be saying that, singing that tune for too long. I don't know if it's just they have a vested interest in the game and they want to hype the killer up, or are they just blind to what I'm seeing, what I see? Or it's possible maybe I'm just wrong, right? But I don't think I am. I think this is Skull Merchant 2.0. I'm really worried about where the game is headed, and I mean, honestly, I am really looking forward to Texas Chainsaw Massacre the game. I wish it was out already. I know the technical test is coming up, but I'm like, when can August get here? How can I just go in stasis for a couple months here and come back and play some Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Oh my. Well, let me know what you think, what your thoughts are. Have you been on the PTB? Have you tried it out? Um, is there something I'm not seeing? If you think I'm wrong, tell me. Please, please tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me, show me the light at the end of the tunnel, please. All right. Well, until the next video. Bye bye.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!